to my YouTube channel AI Stories by Anjali. In today's video is about the topic reinforcement learning from human feedback, which is also called RLFH method. However, in our previous videos in generative AI and LLM series, we have discussed that the LLM models have been built on the architecture called transformers, which are taken from the advanced deep learning techniques like variable autoencoders, and also a technique called reinforcement learning plays a vital role in generating the responses which are required by the humans in developing the LLMs. So in order to make an LLM to generate the customized responses, this reinforcement learning concept is very much essential. If you remember, in our last video in coding session, we have seen how an LLM is generating response for the customized questions that we ask. So this is purely based on this particular technique, which is called reinforcement learning. So let us dive deep into the video and see what this means. However, this particular topic will be divided into two subparts in our two different videos, that is this week and the next week. So pay attention to the video and learn the concept. So before that, I would like to thank to all my subscribers who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, and also requesting to the new watchers to please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel AI Stories by Anjali. So let us dive deep into the video. Firstly, what is reinforcement learning? So reinforcement, the name itself is indicating there are two parts in our word, that is reinforcement. Second thing is learning. So you know what is learning? Learning is nothing but understanding or grasping, etc. Reinforcement, that means you are forcing someone, you are remembering something like that. Okay. So reinforcement learning is basically a subpart or a subset of machine learning. If you remember from our first video, I have clearly stated the differences between data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. And if you remember the diagram, inside the data science circle, you have artificial intelligence, and inside the artificial intelligence, you are having machine learning. So reinforcement learning will sit inside the circle of machine learning, because reinforcement learning is a subpart and a component of the machine learning. What exactly reinforcement learning? It is nothing but learning through experiences based on the situations and acting and taking the steps according to that situation. Simply you can say this thing. Why I am telling this particular statement? I will say a simple example for that. For example, in many of my videos, I have been stating this example. So let us consider a small child, and you have been telling the small child, don't catch fire because it is harm. And if accidentally, if the child caught the fire, and then the child knows that, okay, that is something which is harming himself, and next time they won't go. They are fear of catching that, right? Similarly, if we as a humans, so you have you planned for some trip and you went there, but you have experiences a bad scenario, and next time if you want to go to the same place, you will think about so many things, whether that particular situation, the particular condition, the climate, so on, so on, so etc. Right? So basically, you are experiencing that particular thing, and based on that, you're taking the actions. Okay, so this is what reinforcement learning means. Basically, it uses human feedback to train the models, and then it will align that based on the human preferences. So this is what reinforcement learning definition. Okay, so I hope this definition is understood by you, but I will say one more example which will help you to understand more clearly. For example, there are two kids in a family. Let us consider, and one kid is studying very hard, and one kid is getting 80 to 90% of marks, and the other kid is like a bit slow, but he's okay, good, and he has 50% of marks. So the parents are planning to join this 80% child into a high level international multinational school, so that they can have a good good teaching and all, and he can improve much more, like he will be like more talented and he can improve and enhance his skills. Whereas the second child, he is not that much hardware, but he is okay. So they don't want to overwhelm that particular child, and they want to join in a normal school. So this means that they are taking the actions, right? So for a 90% candidate, they are taking one action, and for a 50% candidate, they are taking one more action because of the situation of their results. Okay, so that means reinforcement learning is always based on the situation. Okay, based on the situation, they will take the action. So this is what you can remember. I hope this concept is clear. That is what exactly the reinforcement learning. So let us see what is the basic architecture or component of reinforcement learning. In reinforcement learning, we have basically these components. One is called agent, environment, action, reward, and observation. So agent is nothing but the person who is doing that particular action. Okay. Environment is nothing but the environment. Okay, that means that is the platform simply. And observation, reward, and action, these three are siblings, you can say. So based on the agent's action in the environment, uh, through the observations of those actions, you will get rewards if it is a positive thing, and if it is a negative thing, or if it is something which did not work out, then you will get punishments. If you are getting reward, that means you're doing some positive actions. Okay, so this is what the component of the reinforcement learning. Next we will see the RLHF process. So as I mentioned, like how this chat GPT is working, how this LLMs are working. So basically, in order to develop such type of things, first you should have some basic understanding of this process. So RLHF process mainly contains three steps. First thing is training a language model. Second thing is gathering the data and training a reward model. Third thing is fine-tuning the large language model with reinforcement learning. So these three are the steps that are involved in developing the LLMs. So for example, if you remember the last coding session, so whenever you ask your customized questions, it is giving answers, right? So for example, let us say like you have your own business, and let us say you are having own boutique business, and in the boutique business, you're thinking like you have a website, and whenever a user enters your website and you want to ask some questions about your boutique, or some uniqueness about your boutique, or something, so everything you can simply like, rather than calling to your particular business or having some customer representative, so and so person, so you can manage efficiently using this particular bot. Okay, so how you can do that? So in order to develop that, you have to have some understanding about this particular process. So I will say a simple example. So you can take a pre-training model, the first step. So the pre-training model is nothing but the existing LLM models which are already in the market. Let us say example GPT. So you can take the GPT and you can gather your own data, like prepare some own data of what are the most frequently asked questions by your customers in the boutique, and some unique aspects of your boutique, etc., etc., and have the data ready, and you can feed this data to your GPT model, and which we can say reward model. Why you are saying reward model? Because you are having your own customized things and asking the bot to act like that. You can, and in while developing, you will be having different roles like system, user, assistant, etc., and based on this you will customize the bot for your particular thing to work. And then third step is fine tuning. What is fine tuning? The name itself is telling like you are improvising. Fine tuning. Tuning means like you are refining. Okay. So whatever the results that you have developed, or whatever the model that you have developed, remember, anything in the world is not perfect. Every time you're getting some disturbances or something. 100% accuracy is not at all achievable in the real world scenario or in the real world data. So whatever the thing that you have developed, always you have to improvise, especially whenever you are dealing with the text models like this language models. So I have told you in our basic video, like there will you have to make sure that LLM should grasp both the syntax as well as semantic of that particular language, because each language is unique and each language is having its own syntax and its own grammar, etc., and its own semantic. For example, in our previous videos, if you see, there are two different meanings like bank of the river as well as normal bank. So the both bank semantic meaning should able to grasp by your LLM model. Then only it can able to uh, provide the results. So whenever this LLMs like ChatGPT has been developed, they also use this particular technique. Okay, so whenever you are developing your customized bots from the existing LLM models, you also can use this particular fine tuning technique in order to improvise your results. Okay, so these are the three primary steps that are involved in developing the LLM models. The first thing is pre-training the model. As I said, like taking some existing model, you can take any model. However, we are discussing about GPT, so that's why I'm telling GPT. And the second step is gathering data and training a reward model. That means you have to make your own data, or else you can gather your data and you can feed that particular data to your bot and you can build a reward model. Third thing is fine tuning. As I told, you can improvise your results from the existing model which you have developed in the step 2. So these are the 3 steps in your RLHF process, that is reinforcement learning through human feedback. Okay, so I think I hope that you have understand the concept. So we have discussed what is reinforcement learning, what are the components in reinforcement learning, and a simple example of that, and how you can develop a practical scenario by using these 3 steps as I told the boutique example. So in our further video, we will see some more examples like the advanced concept, like we will take each and every step and see what are the some techniques that you can do in each and every step, and then later you can see the practical implementation of that particular thing. Okay, so I hope you understand this video. So please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel AI Stories by Anjali. Thank you so much.